Why is Meridian such a desirable place for so many families? We're gonna look at education, cost of living, location, proximity to all things, healthcare. We're gonna look at it all. So if you wanna stick around to the end, we're gonna get a bonus for you as well about Meridian, why so many people are moving here. If you want that, stick around to the end, but let's go check Meridian out. If we haven't met yet, it's a pleasure to meet you via YouTube. My name is Brian Hymas. I've been doing these videos for quite some time now, and I've lived in Boise since I was born. Born and raised here. I was an appraiser for a few years, and I've been doing real estate for the last 5 years and change. So welcome to this video. We're gonna talk about Meridian, all things Meridian, why Meridian is so great. So I grew up in Boise address, but I went to Meridian High. So Meridian is my sweet spot. I now live in Eagle. I've lived in that area. I've surrounded it, I've lived it. I shop in Meridian every day I'm there. So it's something I'm very, very familiar with. Before we get into the meat of Meridian, let's talk about something else real quick. I'm getting calls, texts, emails on the weekly for people just like you looking to move here. They might be moving here for sure. They might be moving here maybe. We don't know quite yet, but those phone calls, texts, and emails are everything to me. They mean the world to me. So if that's you, pick up the phone, send me an email, send me a text, and let's get connected. Let's get a plan for you because I've got the easy buying 1, 2, 3 process. It really is simple. Up front, we save time by going over a few things, and what it's designed to do is not miss out on any homes, not overpay for any homes, and not buy a lemon. You don't want to do those things. And so the whole process that I have is designed to do that. Once we get that done, the buying process is really, really easy. So if that's you, text, call, email, and I am the guy for you. So let's dive into why Meridian is one of the US's 10 fastest growing cities. Let's go. Before we get into each bullet point, as an overview of Meridian, Meridian is located adjacent to Boise. If you're looking at a map, it's basically Eagle Road that divides Boise from Meridian. Now, it's not exactly that. You can see it kind of jigs and jags across Eagle Road. To make things super simple for you, you can just make Eagle Road the dividing line between Meridian and Boise, and that's gonna be a pretty good guess at where the boundary lines are. Meridian has an estimated population of about 130,000 here in 2021. When I was growing up, I kid you not, driving to school, I'd see welcome to Meridian population, I think it was 29,000 or 33,000, and that was like 2003, and I'm sure those signs might have been 5, 10 years old. But still, we're looking at some serious growth in Meridian. Tons of families and tons of people are moving to Meridian, and you will quickly see why. Number one reason why people are moving to Meridian, I would say, is that it's a great place for families. A lot of families are moving there. And guess what? We're all part of a family, so that counts for everyone. Many people will work in Boise and live in Meridian as it's so close. Just hop on the freeway and 10 minutes down the freeway, you're at work. Meridian has a lot more growth than Boise as a whole, so it has a lot more new developments to offer the people who are moving here or who are already living here. When you look at Meridian, Meridian really has it all. It might not have the downtown skyscrapers, but it has the big box stores, it has the restaurants, it has the shopping, it has the malls, it has car dealerships, it has some farmland in there as well. There are 3 main intersections that I boil Meridian down to. The first is Eagle and Fairview. Eagle and Fairview has Albertsons, it has Texas Roadhouse, it has the Village, it has a car dealership close by, it has Walmart, it has Sportsman's Warehouse, it has Red Robin, it has Jewelers, it has a ton of different things in that area. Huge intersection. I've been told it's the busiest intersection in the state of Idaho. South of there, not an intersection, but is Eagle and the freeway. That's where Topgolf is going in, where we are probably going to see blue turf instead of green turf on that Topgolf. Side note. Now, getting back to the intersections. Amity and Eagle, that's South Meridian. That represents a lot of South Meridian. Are they busier? Yeah, that's kind of where some of the growth is happening. There's an Albertsons there, and there's a Sky Mesa, there's Century Farms. There are good neighborhoods. There's Tuscany, which is a long developed and established neighborhood, but still a desirable neighborhood. It's about 15 years old now, but it's an awesome neighborhood. And then when you go north to North Meridian, you're at Linder and Chinden. That has Fred Meyer, Winco, has little restaurants, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Starbucks, Teriyaki Madness, Costa Vida, my favorite, Roxbury, another one of my favorites, whose owner is a stud. Shout out to him. He moved here and just took that thing up as a young guy. A little shout out for a local business owner. And Linder and Chinden is also where the Meridian Temple is. It's really close to the Boise River. Number 2 reason why so many people are flocking to Meridian, and it might tie into number 1, is the school ratings on the schools in the West Ada School District. West Ada consists of Meridian and Star and Eagle, but for the most part, it used to be called Meridian School District. You've got schools like Hunter and Paramount Elementary Victory Middle School, Rocky Mountain High School, Owyhee High School. Those are schools that are receiving those top ratings. Now, I've said many times those ratings are something of another world. Their score is kind of like a credit score to me. People judge a lot by it, but it doesn't mean a whole lot. Now, real quick about those school ratings. They are given by metrics and data, so test scores, test results for national tests, which if your teacher's teaching the test, then you get better ratings, right? If you have more diversity, teacher ratio, which is super important. And so there's some things that matter, some things that don't, and you just have to decide for yourself how much weight that holds for you. I know plenty of schools that don't have A, B, C ratings that are still great schools. Now, having said that, when you look at a house and it's in a good school rating system, your property resale value will reflect that a little bit. It's not the only thing, but it is a factor. And so people use that and want that. And so if it matters to them, it'll matter in the price of the house. Number 3, the healthcare system in Meridian, Idaho. If you're in Meridian, you are no further than 15 minutes. Sometimes you're next door to a hospital. St. Luke's has a hospital in Meridian. St. Al's has a couple of those smaller ones, but St. Luke's is rather large. It's right there at Eagle and the freeway. Number 4 is Meridian's impressive housing. The average price in Meridian over the last around 90 days is about $558,000. That is significantly up, which is great for equity. It is harder to get into a home now. I mean, when you have people who are first-time home buyers, that is really who suffers in this market. So selling your home in Meridian is super easy. Average days on market is 7, and that number is going down right now. When you see this video, it might be up from there. A healthy, balanced market is gonna have a way higher number of days on market. That's because the demand on Meridian is so high, and that goes for the whole Boise Valley in general, but Meridian is included in that. The lowest priced home sold in Meridian in the past 90 days was $313,000. $313,000 used to be above the average price. Now it is the lowest home sale in the last 90 days. The highest price sell in the last 90 days was $1.59 million in Meridian, and the highest home price sell ever in Meridian was a guy from our brokerage that sold for $4 million with incredible views in Spurwing. It was a modern looking home it seemed to have a room for every talent and hobby you could ever think of. It was an awesome home. As Meridian grows, it seems that lot sizes shrink and the community grows. So pick your poison. Want an old home with larger acreage, or do you want a newer home with less acreage? And number 5, the cost of living in Meridian, Idaho is relatively low. It says on this graph that you're looking at that Idaho has 107.4 compared to the national average of 100. 100 is just their standard, their metric for what the average is. So it says our cost of living is actually higher. Why is that? It's the housing prices. Once you get here, this actually floors me because the cost of living overall in Idaho is actually pretty low. I'm not sure how and why these numbers are higher than I thought, but hey, they are what they are. And unfortunately, the average price of home is going up, and that is a huge portion of everyone's monthly expenses. So if you're buying with cash, it might be easier to make that move. Because the cost of housing in Meridian is so high, if you are moving from out of state and you're rolling over your equity, that actually takes out that number. And so if you look at everything else on that chart, it actually balances out the cost of living, makes it lower for you. Most Californians who move here, or out-of-staters who are moving here, are saying it's lower cost of living. It's because they're rolling over the equity. And if you move from intrastate or intra-city, and I'm going from Eagle to Meridian or Meridian to Eagle or wherever it might be, because with time I have accrued equity, and with that equity I can roll it over, so the cost of my mortgage will be lower. And the bonus coming at you is the outdoor friendly city. So the people here are wonderful. The open spaces are nice. There's ordinances in Meridian that say that if you have a new neighborhood, you need to have a park or an elementary school in the neighborhood. So there's tons of open spaces. When you're driving around town, you'll notice that there's a distinct feel with the neighborhood. It's because we have a lot of HOAs, and so there's a lot of common ground. When you're in an HOA in Idaho, you get usually, not always, your irrigation water to water your grass is in that. And so you might be paying $500 a year or $1,000 a year for that. And it upholds the CC&Rs of your neighborhood, which some are strict, some aren't. And you're also gonna have the playgrounds, the basketball courts, the pools, all that taken care of in there, but all the open areas and all the common grounds and all the beautiful entrances are taken into consideration for that HOA. So the beautiful feel, the openness of the city has to do in part because of the ordinances we have, how many parks we have. I mean, Settlers Park, Kleiner Park, there's a park in every neighborhood it seems. They're all awesome neighborhoods, so much open ground. I really cannot stress enough how wonderful the city feels when you're driving through it. So, given everything that I just threw at you right now, are you interested in moving to Meridian? I want to see in the comments below. If it's not Meridian, tell me what city outdoes Meridian for you. And of course, if you're looking to come to Boise, there is no greater compliment that I receive than phone calls, texts, or emails from people just like you moving here. And so if that is something I can help you with, please, please, please do call, text, or email. I love getting those phone calls or texts. They are not an inconvenience at all. It's why I make these videos. And don't forget, the third Tuesday of every month, 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I am live in my YouTube channel talking about the state of the market and doing a live Q&A, given that you guys can type in and I can answer with voice and video and answer all things question and how they are with the Boise market. A little bit of a tongue twister there, but you got the idea. Now, maybe you're thinking it's gonna be Boise or Meridian. If that's it, I've got the perfect video for you. Boise versus Meridian. Check it out right there. Go watch that next video. Big box stores, it has chain restaurants, it has, what else does it have? I think St. Luke's largest hospital here in the Valley, and it was their second one. Their largest is downtown. I just said it was the largest. Now the score, those to buy me more money with my equity. That didn't make sense. St. Luke's has a huge St. Luke's has a huge pot. I really cannot say how good that, I really cannot say enough, that's what I was trying to say.